Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hello and welcome in today. Welcome to this video, or welcome to either my Twitch channel or my YouTube channel. For you guys that don't know, I stream this on Twitch on the weekend at some point usually, and then I export it to YouTube a little bit later. Today's a little bit of later stream that I did this weekend, a little bit later, but that's okay. You know, I've uploaded a little bit later than usual. Usually on Sunday, I try to get it up before early Sunday. We're talking about late Sunday for this stream. That's okay, you know. For say my weekly tips, I get them up every Wednesday at the same time. For these streams, it's usually Saturday or Sunday mornings. But yeah, today we're doing a 90-minute art challenge. I'm drawing a frog scene. It's got a frog in it. It's got some leaves, and I had fun painting it. It's interesting, yeah, and fun to paint this one. It was something different. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I have drawn it before. I watched the actual stream of it, and I drew this scene in my sketchbook somewhere. It's like it was on a blank piece of paper, I think. Oh, yeah, or it might be in my actual sketchbook. I'm not 100% sure because usually what I do is I draw um, on pieces of paper usually, and then any good drawings that I have I put into my sketchbook. Um, the idea being, you know, I don't fill up my sketchbook with all these kind of loose, quick drawings that I'm just like doodling sometimes, you know, some random piece of paper that just doodles like squares and circles and random things sometimes. Um, but I take all of that mess and draw a better drawing in my sketchbook of something. Um, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with in your sketchbook doing a little bit of that doodling. Have a few pages here and there for just doodling and filling up pages and things like that. But for me, yeah, I like to have those loose so I can just check them out. So that I don't keep too much books, too much of those sketchbooks. For me, that's my preference. Yeah, so today, you know, talking about sketchbooks and those kind of things, I wanted to talk to you guys about a certain topic. I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to talk about topics. I was going to do topics again where, you know, you see me painting and things, but I'm talking about topics. Um, Last few weeks I've just been talking about my 90-minute art challenges. I've definitely talked about a few topics here and there in some of the videos and some of the conversations I have in there. Haven't had any artists in lately, but I've just been doing the 90-minute art challenges. I'd like to get some in. That'll be in the future, I guess. For now, I am just pretty much working on these 9-minute art challenges. I do try and get some artists in, but yeah, a lot of them are busy, and yeah, eventually get someone in. So I do enjoy chatting with other people on this channel. But yeah, today's topic, I'm going to talk to you about learning and growing as an artist and YouTuber. Because I'm not only an artist, illustrator, I'm also a YouTuber per se. I'm not either of those things, you know, I'm not a paid artist or I'm not a paid YouTuber. Um, but I am, you know, I do uh, kind of call myself because I do illustrate and create art most of the time when I'm at home and creating things. Um, and I create YouTube's videos at least twice a week, so that's why I kind of call myself, in a way, a little bit of a YouTuber, not a paid YouTuber, but you know, um, would be a professional yet, which is an interesting term. professional because you know most people say that if you're not being paid as professional for it, you're not professional yet, and that's kind of true. That's yeah, I'm not exactly a professional. um I it's but I don't I'm not like a hobbyist. I do want to make this a job, full-time job, at some stage. And yeah, I have ambitions, hopes, and things like that. But yeah, I've been learning and growing as an artist for 10, 15 years. 10, 2016, yeah, roughly about 10, 11 years-ish, when I was, well, even more than that, because I think I was, you know, as a young boy, I really enjoyed doing doodles, drawing, trying to draw things, um, and randomly like doodling in class and drawing randomly, drawing dragons. I like Spyro the Dragon, so I attempted to try Spyro the Dragon when I was like um, maybe 10 or something. Um, I enjoyed art at school. We would do art and I would create things. Um, so I've always kind of been growing as an artist. So, I could say, um, since I was small, I was always trying to create stuff. So I could say like I've been growing much more. But I would say roughly 10, 11 years that I've been kind of pursuing art on a more serious level, um, where, I wanted to grow and to get better. I was trying to look into how I could do this kind of all the time, full time kind of a thing, and be able to do more of it. Um, and as a YouTuber as well, I could say roughly about 10 years because, I've been kind of jotting down a few things. I've played around with, I wanted to be a YouTuber, an animator YouTuber when I was like 13, 14. I wanted to do like Stickmen. And I did a few Stickmen animation things and Lego animation and those kind of things. And you can still see some on this channel, like right down the bottom at the end of my videos. You can see some of those videos. Um, and the other ones I just can't find or don't know where to find the videos. Some of them, because don't know, remember the email that was created. I might be able to eventually one day figure it out and find my video and that kind of thing. But um, I found it probably a year ago or something. I never found it since, so it wasn't a really old channel and only had like a couple of videos on it, and I didn't get really many views at all on that channel. They were really play around animation thing, but it was all fun back then. I was just trying my thing. Um, with views though, it was like a little bit worried, I guess. I didn't. If I got more views, I think I would have been more encouraged to do more, I guess. Um, but not saying that I got any views or anything, I didn't kind of pursue it a little bit more, I guess. And I tried a few other things. I did, um, this channel I've done like speed drawings, kind of similar what I'm doing now, but I don't kind of chat on them. I just kind of put music on the background and things like that. Plus, from there, then I slowly built up what this channel is all about. Plus, then I have tried a few other ideas. I've been part of um, kind of other startup slash YouTube building channels, um, as well as created some of my interesting other projects on YouTube, which don't exactly see in the limelight, but it was fun and I enjoyed it. And it is a learning experience. So I've had experience with YouTube. I'm not anyway, like a professional. I don't have a billion views. I have a decent amount of followers for now, a couple of hundred or so. Um, and I do get turn around a not decent but small amount of views. Um, so I'm somewhat of a YouTuber, not a celeb, not a big YouTuber, very small, and more in it for the fun and enjoy it. Same with my art at the moment. I'm not a professional, but I am learning, I am growing, and that's something, and that's what's important. You're not like I think one of the people I chatted to, Travis J. Hansen, he talks a lot about that kind of thing about expecting rewards and uh, you know you have to kind of keep going, and it's always challenging as a growing artist, growing YouTuber. Um, Learning and growing is not exactly easy, and it comes with experience. You can't, some YouTubers get it right off the bat. They get, everything right um, and do really well, and that's just because, um, though it's just kind of maybe just come naturally to them and, it's kind of in their personality. It's for them. Um, we others struggle a lot, but but there's no saying that those big YouTubers and those things have gone through a lot of trial, like some big YouTubers um I have learned about have gone through a lot um of hardships and things have done in the past that didn't work out. Like, look at, uh, I've been into Pokemon cards and things like that, and one, um, one YouTuber in that community is Leon Hart. Um, he has some cool, interesting videos in there, but you look back at his like original videos, like in the first few, and they are not too great. They, not the greatest quality, but you can see kind of his ambitions in the first few videos. You can see kind of his personality and what he's trying to do, and um, everything he's about in his channel. That's all in there. It may not be the best video in its field and things like that, but now you look at his videos and you're just shell shocked. And same with even, Bobby Chio's channel, his videos back in the day, um, they were just kind of him painting a few things, and not the best mic in the world and things like that, and um, but he had some interesting conversations in there, and same with, yeah, a lot of artists and a lot of YouTubers out there. They do you can see sometimes where they've trialed and the things that they've done in the past. Maybe they've done some funny, weird channels in the past that didn't quite work out. Some of them have done, channels that didn't work out, and then eventually they hit something that worked out for them. But they've gone through a lot of hardships and things that they've done to try and get this or get their career going in their learning and growing going. Whether it's trialing videos or trialing art things, like doing these 90-minute art challenges. These are awesome to do, these 90-minute art challenges. I think, I'm learning a lot and seeing or trialing things a lot more. I think I'm less precious about these 90-minute art challenges, and I'm surprising myself what I can do within 90 minutes. Um, as well as, kind of think I'm turning out a little bit better in terms of what I can turn out within 90 minutes, that's always good to boost that. You know what you can create within 90 minutes. So it's like, well, if I can create this in 90 minutes, what can I create in 3 hours, or 2 hours? It's really been like, yeah, I can do a lot with my time if I really push it and try and just keep going. Um, so that's what's good with 90-minute art challenge, as well as for YouTubers, there are like heaps of other challenges you can do. Try and keep up with 2 videos a week, and um, there's some challenge videos that you can do, I suppose, um, and there's also, because YouTube's about creating videos, there's these like events, like 24-hour video creation events, where, you've got to create a video within 42 hours or 48 hours or something like that, um, and then submit it for um, the contest, So there are a lot of challenges and things like that, as well as art challenges. You've got um, heaps of ArtStation ones, which I've participated in about 2 or 3 of them, and all those are good for learning and growing. I've trialed things that I don't think I would have trialed. Um, you know, One was creating ancient civilizations, so it's ancient civilization characters, creating undersea characters, and then creating Wild West characters. And for those, I think I completely failed them. That's the way I feel anyway. But I did learn a lot. I did see a lot of other great artists and see what they did. Um, it's good to see what they've done and how they've done it. To see the level they're at. That's the level, you need to be at, kind of, to get anywhere close to getting anything from the competition, basically. So, um, that's always good. I went into it without seeing many, contest winners and things like that. I just did it and tried to do the best that I could. But now, maybe sometime in the future, um, maybe, doing another one of those challenges might be very beneficial. Because, yeah, I've seen the competition, so if I look at some of the competition, even some of the artists participate and see what level they are and try to aim for, that level. That's always, what you want to kind of go for. I think back then, I didn't have the kind of, I guess, capability or knowledge to, push myself to go to that level. I was just trialing. I didn't have all the time in the book. I was kind of at a not the best situation, but it wasn't too bad because it was at a situation where I didn't know I whether I had time to create art. There were times where I would have the whole week to create art. There were times where I had barely any time during the week to do any art, basically. Wasn't on any schedule, so that was one thing that was annoying about it. However, it did mean that sometimes I would get a lot more time than others. Some weeks I was kind of staying at home doing some illustration. Other times I had to go out to work. I didn't um, have much time to illustrate, maybe a little hour or two at night. Um, uh, but it was spontaneous. Some days I was at home illustrating, some days I was out working and been away from being able to draw and create. But now, I do have 40-hour jobs, so I do have to go out, go to work. I have an hour's break, hour's lunch, so I do get to draw during my lunch break. and sometimes I don't exactly feel like it, or like I'm just having lunch, just want to chillax. Um, Other days I'm totally into it. I quickly have lunch, I'm drawing and I spend 45 minutes-ish, at lunch doing my drawing, practicing, learning, doing, I've done Inktober's over the last um, 2 years. I think I've done the Inktober's, and this year will be my kind of third year doing that. I've done Inktober's for the last 5 years, I think. But at the work I'm at, I've done it 2 years at the work I'm at. Um, but yeah, it's been, and that's another learning thing. That's another challenge is the Inktober challenge. Um, yeah, and as a YouTuber, I've been creating a stream once a week for I think roughly 3 years now. And 2 years for 2 videos a week. Um, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. The first kind of year of it, I just did the one stream. That's all I could keep up. I started out wanting it to be with an artist every week, and that worked for a little while until one week I didn't have an artist in, and and then I kind of broke that. And now it's completely broke. I haven't had a lot of artists in lately. Um, but also I've been busy. I haven't been able to go and find a lot of artists because I've been busy keeping up with the YouTube channel as well. You know, um, and that's always a changing thing. How much time I do have to spend on illustration. Some weeks it's I get all weekend to create stuff. Other weekends I only get like a couple of hours or so. Which is fine, and I try my best as well during the week. Um, Usually it's all good. Two 2 hours a night of creating stuff, and you know a night. So that's roughly 10 hours a week that I get to illustrate usually. So I just need a water there. So yeah, roughly about 10 hours ish a week to illustrate. Um, and within that 10 hours, I have a 90-minute art challenge to do. I have um, a weekly tips to do. Um, Also, I work on my book a little bit, as well as, uploading and editing videos. As well as, also within that 10 hours, I've got a 45-minute stream to do. These streams, well, I'd say about 12-ish hours I've got to do everything, including my YouTube channel, my the painting, and um, video editing, painting, all that other stuff. Roughly, I would say roughly 12 hours a week to do that, to do everything. Um, and I don't, I wouldn't spend all that time on, illustration and all the stuff I need to do. Some of that time I still need to chillax and do some other stuff that I like doing. Um, but I do try my best to keep that 12 hours. If I really push myself to do those 12 hours a week, I can get ahead a lot more, and that's what I want to keep doing. Um, But yeah, I just had a glass of water there. That's a learning for YouTube tuber, a creator, for more podcaster, where you're talking for a lot more is have water near you, or have some sort of something that um or your supplies near you, basically. Uh, that's always important, and it's took me a while to learn that. I've just kind of streamed, but now I do find it, there's always something, a tickle in my throat, or something that happens within that 45 minutes of me talking that I do need a little bit of a drink or something. Um, so yeah, I always try and keep that, make sure I have that supply, a drink of water, yeah, to keep my voice and to make sure that I can keep going. I'm not gonna kind of have this weird tickle in my throat for half the video or the whole video or something. I make sure looking after your health is important. Um, and it's always had that in my back of my mind, looking after my health. Um, and those things is always important. Without a kind of a good diet and a good health, you won't be able to create many YouTube videos or many art pieces and illustrations. You won't be able to learn and grow too much as well because you're spending all your time in bed and um, those kind of things. Yeah, and it's challenging as well as mental health. Um, and the last thing that's happened to me, um, which happens a wee bit, is rejection letters, from companies that you've applied for work for, and that happens as an illustrated artist. It will always happen, as well as for YouTubers, not getting good responses sometimes, or some bad comments, those kind of things, likes and dislikes, and all those things. They can kind of affect your mental health in a way, or affect you as a um, artist if you let them get to you. You shouldn't let them get to you. It is always tough when you get, especially when you get those kind of letters that um, that are you're not accepted, where it's a job you really really wanted, or a position, or a video that you really really you just enjoyed creating. You put your everything into it, but no one's respond to it, no one's watched it, um, or you just get all these hate messages on it. It is definitely challenging to um, continue and keep going with it, but you can get through it. And I've had a few days lately where it's like, oh no, had that letter, and I was like, I'm not getting upset by that, but a little bit upset about it, but I just, keep moving forward. Um, what did I learn from the experience? Because with that application, I had to do another art test for it, and I really think I learned something from that art test. I think I've improved. It's, because it was an application I've done before, where I've done the art test before, so seeing, my previous art test and compare it to the new art test, I'm like, okay, I've improved. So that's always important. Just take something out of it, and keep learning and growing. What can you change? Because obviously, if you're not getting it, or it's, um, or something's not right with your video, or your art piece, or whatever it is, you there's obviously something that needs to be improved on. So looking at it and just seeing what you can do to improve. For me, I really want to move forward a lot more. I think that I'm kind of standing still a lot. I seem to be, um, uh, you know, especially for the Hedgehog book, I was creating the same, you know, same material or the same kind of level of skill material um, for quite a little while. I wasn't kind of moving forward a lot, producing new works and learning a lot. I did slowly learn from that experience, and I'm doing that in the last couple of years, been improving on those skills as I've been creating it. Um, but not as much. So that's moving forward. I'm looking into that. I'm looking at how I can improve my skills a lot. And one thing is, 90-minute art challenges are um, a huge beneficial to me if I can keep them going. Um, I think that's going to help quite a significant amount. I think the image I've created here within 90 minutes, I'm quite surprised about. Um, because this feels like a piece that maybe would have taken me maybe a couple hours to get to. But a couple of years ago, I would have been this would have taken me a couple of hours to get to. So, that's the improvement. You can see the improvement, and just noticing improvement, how you got there, and making a plan for how you're gonna learn and grow that. For me, within the hour lunch, I'm definitely, last couple of weeks I've just been kind of doodling and, um, yeah, just drawing random stuff and not been doing too much. I'm going to try and, I've been watching some videos and things like that about, you know, growing as an artist and drawing a few things here and there and a bit about perspective and those things. So I'm gonna kind of push that a little bit more. I've definitely got a lot of gonna watch a lot more videos on that from YouTube. Some artists out there that are talking about things like perspective and those skills that I still feel like I need growing with, as well as I'm going to bring a lot more reference material with me so that I can draw from reference a little bit more at work maybe, um, because it's great to draw with reference and learn um, a little bit more about these animals that I'm drawing. With the weekly tips, it's always great. I think I've learned quite a bit about animals and how to kind of draw different animals. I definitely, after doing the weekly tips for something, say like a bear or um, a duck or something, I then can go draw a duck in my book that's semi decent. It's not bad. It's not completely bad. Before doing the weekly tips, I'd probably fail at drawing the duck. It'd look, well, it wouldn't be a duck, but something more interesting, like a beetle. I'm trying to draw a beetle after doing the weekly tips, and then I can then use the knowledge that I've learnt from those weekly tips, and draw without any reference those things like giraffes and beetles and bears a lot better. I still, there are still um, a little bit of blanks I need to fill in and things like that, but I'm way better at drawing those things than I was before I did any of the weekly tips. So that is always helpful to do. That's what has been, as well as, with those weekly tips, um, learning a few things here and there, how to present it. You know, back when I started with it, it was a 5-minute video. I had kind of nothing prepared. I kind of thought of a topic the day or the night before or that night, and then I kind of chatted and did that topic. Now I have a drawing prepared. I'm kind of talking over it. I'm doing some research if I have to. I look into some of the things I talk about. For instance, I think one was a he, um, like deer. I was talking about deer. I think addicts at one stage. I'd look into what that was, and it actually is related to the antelope. To find out what kind of species they are from, finding out if ladybug, done ladybug before, finding out that ladybug is actually a beetle, which is commonish knowledge, but you wouldn't think of it, you didn't think ladybug, there's a bug. It's actually a beetle. Not everyone thinks of that, but yeah, learning these things, I have to kind of look at my research for when I'm presenting it. A little bit. So there's something I've gained a little bit of knowledge about learning into my research and showing. It definitely gets more difficult as you push forward, um, especially with different videos that you create. You have to do more research. Um, and things like that, depending on what you're creating. Um, yeah. More different videos, research into what other YouTubers are creating to see what's popular and see what you can create that's new and unique, watching, for me, watching other YouTubers, art creators to see what they're kind of doing, to see what I could trial in maybe either these videos or my weekly tips. Um, it's always important, learning, growing artist and YouTuber, because yeah, you just kind of stand still, you don't really get too far, and that's yeah, something I definitely want to change a lot more. Is I definitely want to push forward a lot more, and I keep trying, um, but yeah, it's just now figuring out how to do that a little bit more, and it will take you a while to do that, to push forward and try to um, understand how you can push yourself forward. You may have to figure it out by watching other YouTubers and things like that, um, and just going into courses and that kind of thing. um, but eventually we all figure it out, we all find a way to um, get yourself better as an artist, YouTuber. Um, it all of us, it does. Some do it faster than the others, and but yeah, some of it comes a bit more naturally. Others have to push a bit harder and try to um get things going. I think, like, for instance, with me, I was at course, and there were a few people in the course that could keep up with the speed of what we were doing, what we were creating. Um, it was challenging, but there was at least a handful of us that could keep up above it. Make sure that they would be able to have everything kind of done and handed in a day before and everything like that. There's less than a handful of us to do that. A handful that could keep up with the speed, just be on point, maybe just be able to hand it in on time, pretty much. And then there was a handful that could barely keep up. They may, they're probably you needed 5 illustrations or 5 designs or something that day, or all your research done, or all your concepts, and 5 concepts or something like that. And these guys would have uh, a concept or have just completed their research and are just starting on um, their ideas. There was a handful of those. Um, as well. So it comes less naturally as well to some of those guys that can't kind of keep up and get things down. And there's nothing wrong with what level you are, but obviously with that, it's in that kind of situation, you know, because it was a course that those guys would struggle to get, you know, the A's and try and keep up with getting, you know, passing the course. Where, you know, with an online course and things like that, you don't have to, some of them you do, some of them you don't, depending on what kind of online course. You don't have to kind of keep up with any speed, you just go your own pace. But that can be a good and bad thing as well. Um, because certainly, like with my schoolism, I don't think I watch too much of it. I don't like kind of keep up. I haven't done like many courses in the last few years. I've just been kind of going through and watching some of the courses. Um, but yeah, I like to push and watch a little bit more of that as well to try and level up my skill. I definitely think, you know, I've been in the right direction. And yeah, I think, yeah, a bit more motivation on my side. Um, a bit more pushing and trying to get things done. Um, it is challenging, especially when you don't have a lot of time in the world. You got a lot of other things going on. For any artist, illustrator, YouTuber out there, you know, um, but you just keep pursuing it, keep going. Especially like with this 90-minute art challenge or this 45-minute YouTube video I've created. Um, you know, you keep going, you keep doing it. You learn over time. These 90-minute art challenges definitely helped me a lot. Um, and I'm gonna keep on doing them for a little while longer. I've got some other paintings planned as well in the future. For now, I'm just kind of doing 90-minute art challenges while I work on just kind of improving my skills and getting my art up there a little bit better than I have. So just trying to focus on getting my skills up there a little bit more, working on my book that I'm working on at the moment, just trying to edit that a little bit. So yeah, this has been me chatting about learning, learning and growing as a artist and YouTuber. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Keep creating, guys. Keep drawing, and see you in the next video.